just wondered, top of mind, how you make sense of it.
Well, obviously you got to take your hat off to Coach Satterfield. Those guys, anytime you shut out a college football team, that's a heck of a deal. And, it was a very convincing win, and they have a good football team, and my hat's off to them. They did an excellent job.
Where do you start? This was the competitive game in the second quarter. The kickoffs killed you and never got any momentum back.
Well, like I said, when you start talking about turnovers, we had, we're turning the ball over. We're not converting on third down. Those guys got twice as many plays as us. Our defense is out there twice as many times. And, it gets to be disappointing, obviously, not being able to produce on one side of the ball, and it gets to be extremely frustrating.
That one side of the ball, the offense right now, you knew coming in, the third down's been a sore subject. Tonight it is 1 for 10, and the only conversion is later. Is there something common there that's happening for you? You did have some penalties, but it wasn't like it was always 3rd and 12.
I don't know if there's a common thing except that we're not converting them, and there's no doubt that we need to do a better job, and we're not getting it done.
On the defensive side, if you're going to have that many plays, there were plays to be made. You had 12 tackles for loss. So there are guys out there that want to show what they can do. What did you see that you can rally behind or be enthused about?
Well, you're constantly out there just seeing all those plays. And, there's a freshman on the end of that one and a freshman on the end of that one. And then you've got seniors, you got some sophomores. We're just young. And we can keep saying that, but it's not going to change, and they're going to be older, and there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel of all this. These guys are going to be good players down the road. We just got to weather the storm.
We said on the broadcast tonight, if that's the upside of the season, that you're getting experience for these guys, you have to make it worthwhile, right? So is that why we see late in the game, you called timeout before punt receive down 30? That's because you're trying to line up a guy, right? Just take us through that bit of it, because I think it's not that apparent to the viewer here that you've obviously got to make this stuff count for people while they're getting thumped.
Well, you're trying to make it count. And I believe the second time out is because we were short one guy and we had to get another guy out there. We didn't want him to run a fake when we didn't have all our guys, because we had a freshman on the bench that was supposed to be out there. And, it wasn't like we're trying to run up the score in that situation. We're just trying to get 11 cats out there, and we already had taken one, so it didn't make any difference to take another one.
Jacobian Morgan gets rocked on his last play. I know you're going to evaluate him medically. Are you adamant about trying to get him ready to be back in there next week? Is that part of being the number one quarterback at the moment, or do you look to something else?
Well, we just got to see where he's at. Obviously, we didn't want to put anybody out there where they can't protect themselves, and it's really not fair for me to say anything about that until I hear from the doctors exactly what happened and how he's feeling.
This is one, and I know this will be a tough ride home and you're trying to get out of there, so we'll turn you loose, but this is one where your entire roster, right? I mean, pretty much your whole travel roster, you had to shift guys in positions and whatever, but they all got out there, so this is on everyone. Everyone's part of it right now.
Well, everyone's trying to do their best. Some of those guys are doing things they haven't done before, and some of those guys are playing defense for the very first time. We had Justin Barron out there playing defense for the very first time, coming up and make tackles. So there's a lot of that stuff going on. But anytime you go out to play a football game and you lose a game like this, it's going to be difficult. But a lot of new guys got into the game. Yes, to answer your question.
All right, 2 more against an NC State team that's kind of gotten it going, and Notre Dame. So it doesn't get easier, Coach. Thank you for your time. Safe travels.
Thank you.